Some crazy new details today about the poisoning of a former Russian spy in the UK. British officials now say they believe an assassin smeared a nerve agent on the door of the spy's home, poisoning him and his daughter. That means this was no rookie attack. The nerve agent is so potent and the operation so risky. Experts say it could have only been undertaken with Kremlin approval. The Russians continue to deny their involvement, but if what British and American officials say is right, is there any way this went down without Putin giving it the okay? Let me ask former CIA officer and president of Diligence LLC, Mike Baker. Mike, is there any way they could have done this without Putin, A, knowing about it, and B, giving it the go-ahead?
I'm going to choose no.
Okay.
How's that sound?
You tell me.
There's no way that something of this nature would be done without Putin's knowledge, right? And sort of a nod of the head, not a paper trail. We're not gonna be searching his server anytime soon to get those incriminating emails. But look, back in 2006, a short 11 and a half years ago or so, the Russian Duma, the parliament essentially, passed authorization that allowed for the Russian government to reach out and attack opponents abroad. And then you know what happened in 2006? They killed Alexander Litvinenko using polonium-210 in London. And so this shouldn't come as a shock to anyone. He was slowly poisoned to death.
That wasn't
it was an awful, excruciating death. Yeah. So this one, yeah, it's got his, fingerprints on it. It was a very technical operation. There's no doubt about it. And look, the American and British intelligence services don't just make wild-eyed accusations. A lot of intel work goes into this. A lot of forensic work goes into this. And they left behind residue on the doorknob of Sergei's home. Yeah. Now imagine this. So you have a Russian FSB operative who is in London, goes to this small, sleepy town of Salisbury, and puts on the front doorknob of the home of Sergei and his daughter Yulia, Novichok, this nerve agent that the Soviet Union
a nerve
developed.
agent that is not only developed in the Soviet Union, it is manufactured there. So it was very obvious where it was from. Right. And given the high-profile fight between our government and their government over Russian election meddling, you would think now wouldn't essentially be the time for some former KGB guys to go rogue and start picking off adversaries. This obviously was directed by someone to send a message. What is that message?
Well, the message is do not defect. Do not double-cross us. That's the message that Putin and his cohorts are sending out, and not just by the deviousness, the technicality or the sophistication of the attack itself, but also in doing this in London. So he's sending out a message to anybody else who's working in the FSB or in any sensitive position within Russia. Yeah. Don't ever think about doing what Sergei did.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the movie Icarus, but the deputy minister of sport in that country died of a mysterious heart attack in his 50s, having no history of cardiac trouble at all. So they can get to you anywhere you're at, no matter if it's in a foreign country. Right. That's obviously the message. And, I don't trust
They've got a long history of this. They've got a very long history of this.
That's absolutely right.
And think about what this means. Sergei's living in this small town. And, this requires lead up. This requires work. You've got to surveil the target.
They got FSB agents all over the world. Yeah. They can't feed their people. Exactly. They're in long lines for toilet paper and vodka, but they have no problem getting these high-flying miles to those bastards. All right, Mike Baker, thank you.
Someone's going to write this up into a Netflix series in the next year or so, I guarantee.
By gum, you and I can tack this thing out in an hour, Baker. I've already got buyers.
I'll do the dialogue. You do the atmospherics. It's all it's Emmys. We just have to dust off a place on the shelf.
Oh, so much fun.
Yeah.
I need more space. All right. Thanks again.